Hello, I'll have a little look at me on the shadow here, 125. Frontal Brian and that, sun's out a bit. Now, this hadn't been very well looked after, and I'm doing a lot of cleaning on it. The leather and that I've just cleaned the other day, so they're nice and black again now. Now this chrome, I've tested now with wives' tail. This chrome was all really in bad shape. Look at the suspension there. Pitting, obviously pitting's pitting, but pitting's, once it's gone, it's not often as bad as it initially looks, so we'll have a little test on that in a minute, because I should have done a before and after. If you look at this leather here, I actually rubbed it there, but you see how severe this is in here. It's horrible yellowing. Well, the lever on the other side was exactly the same, and what I've used is an old wives' towel, baking foil. So this one was exactly the same as that one just on the other side. You can see I haven't done all areas, so you can see I haven't been in the right in the gap there. I'll get that in a sec as a sample. That downpipe, I'll do a little bit on that. This front wheel looked like it was no life left in it, and as you can see now it's almost immaculate in places. And we'll do a quick sample on one of these spokes. Let's find one that's good in the light. A spoke that looks completely rusted through. And I say what we're going to use, the handlebars as well, they looked as if they were completely gone. Now they're looking good as gold. But say we're using baking foil. I've seen it on the web. Let me just grab a piece. You don't actually want that big a piece because it only deteriorates anyway. So let's go for a bit of the downpipe and this little bit of thingy here. So let's get an angle on this arm. Unfortunately, I've already been doing a bit, so we want a nice dirty bit to give you a good example. Oh yeah, this front edge is plenty dirty enough. So this ain't totally shiny, so it won't give you the full impression of the shininess that can be returned. But we'll do that on the next piece. So now the problem is that is, and I say don't use too big a piece of foil because that just tore the big piece of foil to pieces. Now the piece of foil is partially degrading and partially, I would say, rubbing into the metal to give it back its new shiny coat. Do a bit on the top, getting a little bit deeper there. And then I'll do a thing, so as you can see, that makes a massive difference. So it's done, those immaculate surfaces have been done with this tin foil, and it's not scratched them at all. Let's try a little bit of exhaust here. Let's say where you've got pitting, the pittings might not be as excessive as they first look once you have given them a good going over. Now this bit of exhaust weren't the best in the world. This is the actual downpipe, whereas the other stuff you just saw that was super chrome is it covers over the top. See, like that pit there, I don't know if you can make that one out, but once you really got into it, it almost become nothing. And yeah, it was a pit or a bobble. So not the best example there. Now again, not a best example because the spokes aren't chrome. But let's try and get that in the light. See that spoke there? I assume you can see how rusty it is. I've got the sights over. It just takes the rust off in seconds. Within the first swipe, the rust was going, and then if you keep going, you effectively rub the colour back into it from the tin foil, I assume. And I mean, that rust has just gone off of that. Totally gone. Someone else can see, you can make that out there. So the rust will come off almost in one swipe. And you're restoring the original colour in no time. And I tell you what, I've used it on loads of different surfaces and none of them seem to mind at all. These bolts here, the Allen key bolts, being tin foil, it really shapes well. So if you find a bolt, you just dig it in, give it a little twirl back and forward. I'm pushing quite hard, and you know, and it just loves that. These are a classic example because they're domed. You know, with a normal thing that would be quite awkward. But this piece of foil will totally shape to that. And it'll come out a complete dome and really clean up in there nice. It is actually amazing stuff. See if we can find another good point to show you anywhere. Let's say really all the chrome. I've done it on every bit of chrome at the minute. Nothing really on this side. The suspension we could try it on. Or this really nasty bit behind here. It's just that I haven't wedged myself in the gaps yet. So this is still that original piece I picked up. It's deteriorating now. See the worse it is, the longer you have to rub. And getting in like the gaps where the thing is joined, the weld, you would have thought, oh no, you know, that weld bit's had it, but again, it flexes into the gaps and becomes the exact shape virtually. You can get it into the sharpest of gaps. If you imagine how thin a single sheet can go. I wouldn't say that was the best example. I'm struggling on that front to actually get access with the screen on. I'm suggesting at some point I might take that off. But even the bit in the weld, look, that bolt, that was rotten. Here's a good example of where I was doing a bit yesterday. I don't know where that's shown, I'll try and show it, but this one I've only skimmed over. This one I bit hard. And they originally both would have been like this one. The sun's so powerful today. You get in there with you. This is still that same bit of tin foil. It's getting pretty rotten now. So it never really seems to scratch it badly or anything, because this mirror quality stuff has took it a drink. Initially when I done it on that, I thought it was scratching it, but it was simply scratching through the muck. So it looked like scratches, but as you can see, there's no scratches on there that weren't already there. In fact, rubbing my hand over it looked like it created more impressive scratches than what's there. So I'm going to probably finish it with some metal cleaner for the protective coat. Even on the underside there, I was getting into it. You can see I'll get in here. All of these metals you can clean up with it, and clean grease off as well. Like the back wheel was actually covered in grease. You couldn't see it at all. It was black. That's had an initial go, but there's more to do, obviously. More to do all round. But yeah, an incredible bike so far. Lovely to ride. Lovely and big. Quite a lot to clean. Quite a lot to keep clean. It's going to be quite an handful to keep cleaning the old app. Just have a quick pop at that suspension while you're there. Again, I should probably take the pad off. Straight away you can see that spring coming nice and shiny. My bones just begun. So you know, to get it perfect, you're going to be at it for quite some time. Let's see this as well. As I say, you think, oh, it's pitted, it's dead. I was thinking of new suspension, I probably will. These were probably one of the things that took it the worst. But when you cut it back to just what the actual pit, and not the shift around the pit, excuse the French, it's not half as bad as you think. Got to watch me swearing every time I last bit. There's a bit of dust on it, let's just give it a wipe. Might be better if I get this forward section. See, this piece in there that's falling apart a bit quick. But you know, if you consider where you're coming from, and that you're just using a bit of baking for, it's absolutely incredible. There's still more to get around those pits, to actually get to the truth of that, to change angle. Get this top bit, give it a full scene. And I say, the dirt, obviously it breezes through the dirt. We're after the rust, but the fact that it covers the dirt while it clears the dirt while you're at it, is obviously a double bonus. So that potentially needed replacing immediately. Suspension is now not looking too bad. Again, even the nuts and bolts, even this aluminium, just skim over the aluminium, it absolutely seems to work on everything. Now look, So we'll take the white off of that in no time. And off the washer, nuts and bolts. I was in nuts and bolts the other day, you know, catching inside them. So what you really want to do there is I'll check with both hands. I was squidging a bit of tin foil to sort of match the shape I'm trying to get into the corner. And then I could really get it in there, but you can see that working. Springs are particularly awkward, that's why else I was thinking I would go brand new on the springs. Because of the actual, just the shape of them makes them incredibly difficult to get the inner edge. But I'm sure you agree, from where that come from, let's just give it a little cloth over because there is a bit of dust. From where we were, that's come a really long way, isn't it? Let's just recap the other side, which was exactly the same. It's rotten, totally rotten. That should be actually nice mirror is what it should be. Shame when someone lets it pit like that just for the sake of wiping it off every couple of, probably a weekly you could wipe that off and that wouldn't have happened. Right, I'm going to stop for now. Maybe next time